Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited for this video. We have week 1 of the PWD season 2. That means we're back in action. My opponent is also a newcomer to the league. Ironically, Coach New, N-U-E, as you can see on your screen. But New has a pretty good team, considering the fact that this guy soldiered up, joined the league after somebody dropped, and kind of took his team after everybody grabbed what they drafted. He came in after us so we could find a replacement. So, shout outs to Coach New and his team, the New York Noctowls. Just on that alone, that does take a definite higher level of challenge into a draft season where I got to take my picks in order when they wanted and snipe some people. He was 100% sniped already. So, you know, I gotta give him full credit for that. Otherwise, New is supposed to be a content creator starting his channel in the PWD. But as I just said, he's starting his channel. So I hadn't seen any of his matches, any of his play prior to this draft league matchup. And I did my due diligence and prep, you know, figured out what conditions need to be met in order for Blastoise to basically clean up the team, and what options I can bring as backups in Aegislash and Hitmonchan, which defensive pivots I can use to slow his offensive threats like Darmanitan and Porygon down, which was the reason why I led Claydol. You know, depending on how aggressive he wanted to lead, I wanted to try to get my Stealth Rocks up really quickly, and I put Stealth Rocks on both Miltank and Claydol so that in the case I didn't like the way the lead matchup looked, I could switch over and bring out the other one. So I decided to lead with Claydol, and seeing his Slowking come out was really kind of like a good thing to me, because I know that this is one of the two main things that can slow Blastoise down. This and Magnezone. So I really had considered trying to stay in and get some damage off, but I wanted to scout a little bit. I switched over to my Tangrowth, and I guess you would kind of say postpone the plan of putting rocks up immediately. So me and my opponent are both at this stage in the game just feeling each other out a little bit, because as you see, I could have took a more aggressive turn on turn 1. He could have taken a more aggressive turn on this play. As you will see, he goes to Porygon, and I decide to stay in and go for the nice, safe, pretty free Giga Drain. Even though I had coverage moves, I felt like the switch was pretty forced. I could have gone for a more aggressive play. There was just no reason to risk things that early in the batch. Maybe that was my first opportunity to get ahead, and I missed it. He's going to get some good damage off on my Tangrowth, but knowing that I could live at least one attack, I wanted to try and roll for the Focus Blast, which I don't happen to get. It doesn't connect, but that's why you play it. You know, we're playing it safe, both of us, but really, you know, I'm playing it safe at the beginning of the match, because I know these things happen. Focus Blast doesn't always hit. With the next play, I wanted to see if this maybe had coverage for Aegislash and if it was choice, which he doesn't completely confirm, but by this switch right here, I kind of figured that it might be. Also, in my preparation, I noticed that Specs Porygon could be extremely threatening to my team. So, like, I guess I'm thinking at this point, why wouldn't it be Specs when he withdraws it? I guess I pretty much put it in my mental notes to treat it as choice specs. I definitely don't think it's choice scarf, but it could be. He doesn't never 100% confirm. So I get some safe damage off on the Slow King. And I could have stayed in and done like probably 50% more to this. But it was too much risk and not enough reward. So we're going to go back to our defensive pivots. He actually shows here that he has a flamethrower, which means he definitely could have been much more aggressive on the Tangrowth play. And that I made a pretty solid play on not staying in there. I just go to my Miltank, get my Stealth Rocks up. It's no big deal. I know that Miltank can shrug off hits from this thing. And so I want to get him started switching. And I just proceed to drink some milk. Have me a little sip, chill out, you know, all that. Once I get sipping on that drink for a couple turns, my opponent's going to test his damage a little bit. But it'll get him to switch, and I can start racking up little bits of Stealth Rock damage, which are pretty needed for Blastoise in order to do what I want Blastoise to do, which is clean up the rest of the team. He goes to his Sandaconda, which is decent against my Miltank, because there's nothing really I can do to the Sandaconda. I didn't bring Toxic or one of the good support moves that it could have used as an option against this. I actually had predicted that this would be his hazard setter and that it would maybe run something like Glare for a support move. So when I seen him reveal this Coil, I knew I was kind of off on my preparation for the Sandaconda, but prepare for it nonetheless. On this play, I really was knowing that this couldn't stay in on the rest of his team because he hadn't lost any of his Pokemon, and Lapras, Slowking, Porygon can all still come in. I just wanted to test to see if he was going to get greedy with his setup. If he stayed in there, you know, obviously it wouldn't have turned out well for him because he would have been at +1 and I would have been at +2 with this Iron defense. But he makes the correct play. He keeps switching it up, pivots out to his Porygon, which, truth be told, has the power and potential to just put holes in my team. So that's what he's going to pull off the right switches in order to do, is put a big hole in my team, taking away my Clay Doll, which was my means of hazard removal. Now this play, maybe this play wasn't the optimal choice, because when I look at, I bring this out because Porygon can't stop it. If it pulls off this Mach Punch, it definitely gets a kill. But knowing the rest of what he has in the back, I should have known that he's not going to let me get away with that. This was an opportunity for a double switch. I could have gone for free in the Tangrowth right here, and a Giga Drain from Tangrowth would have definitely done a lot to this thing. It's not a one-hit KO, but it would have put it in a good position for me, and that's what I really needed to do. I know he had shown the Flamethrower though, so I can't exactly go in to Tangrowth on the switch. So that was, you know, one of my more questionable plays in this matchup, because I could have gotten more out of that revenge opportunity. He continues, he kind of takes the safe route. He doesn't go for the Flamethrower, but it was too risky, and I had to just go for what I went for. Honestly, upon seeing the damage, I just want to get this thing as low as I can, because pretty soon we're in the range where Blastoise can do his thing, and yeah, we're, at this point, we're okay with losing Miltank here and are really more focused on trying to get Blastoise going. So I'm gonna make a pretty questionable play on my part here, but in my own defense, I made this play really fearing and respecting that flamethrower. I think that in hindsight, Tangrowth would have took the flamethrower much better and probably would have been just overall better to stay in. Especially after the fact that my physical attacking Aegislash gets burned on a crit. But these things happen. It's Pokemon. At this point, I just know that I should get fairly decent damage even if I'm burned, and just get what work I can out of this Aegislash, because it's pretty much neutered now. Like, there are a couple opportunities where I could King Shield, and it's just like, even if I only do a little bit of damage, is it even worth it? I just basically attack out with my Aegislash until it faints. So coming in to this, it puts us in a pretty interesting position. I get some chip damage off here and there, but another reason why we definitely don't go for King Shield at any point is because the less we let this set up, the better. And even though the second turn after this attack, even though it seems fairly obvious that this would be the best turn to attack, if he wanted to play it completely safe, there's no reason that he actually has to. He could continue to coil until I faint from my burn. So we don't want that. What we want to do is just attack till we're dead. And it turns out that, I could have predicted that drill run and maybe done something with King Shield, but at the risk of another coil, I just didn't think that was the best play. And also, keeping in mind that I know that this thing can set up fairly easily on the Sandaconda, so it'll either force the switch here or get its Shell Smash off without taking, really even going down to its Focus Sash. But he does take the opportunity to switch. He goes to Lapras, which is one of the best counters that his team has, definitely on the defensive side. It would appear that he brought Water Absorb, Thunderbolt, Lapras to slow me down over Slowking, which takes the hits from Blastoise a little bit better with its Regenerator ability especially, but doesn't have the Thunderbolt in the same coverage options. So I can see why my opponent brought this to keep Blastoise in check. But yeah, I slightly deliberate on it a little bit, but I know that there's a good opportunity for a Thunderbolt here, and I just go for Max Darkness, knowing that it shouldn't pick up the kill, but it should definitely pick up the kill in 2 hits. I didn't know if maybe it was like Assault Vested, fully special defense, what it might have been to maximize its use against what is pretty honestly pretty obvious Blastoise play by me. The Shell Smash setup, I mean, pretty obvious that I would go that route. Now, upon seeing the way that the damage went, Max Knuckle may have picked up the KO right there, which would allow me to get a little bit deeper into his team before I ran out of G-Max turns. However, it's definitely better to play safe, as long as you're not playing too safe. And I didn't want to lose to this Lapras 1v1 at all costs. So I still don't regret the special defense drop. I was maybe a little overcautious in that play, but it's really just good prep on Coach New to know how much defense to run in order to slow me down, but not sacrifice your ability to stop me. So I'm just going to boil that down to, it was a well-prepared Lapras by the opposing coach. And I had to play a certain type of way in order to play around it, which is how you know his preparation was good. Anyway, he goes to the Porygon Z now, and I know he can still Dynamax, but I'm wondering if this is a clean sweep at this point. I know that Porygon isn't going to survive an attack, so I'm wondering why he even went to it. You know, I don't think that there was any set that can be naturally faster than +2 Blastoise. The fact that he goes to Porygon and then he goes that he goes to another option before trying to take it down, and also he goes to his Darmanitan, that's right. Yeah, the fact that he goes to 2 different options before bringing out his Magnezone really kind of threw me off. I don't know what besides the Blastoise he was really expecting to save it for, unless it was set up to be his win condition itself, which I think that this would clearly be the best win condition at the point that he's got my team at right now. But then he goes to his Magnezone, which maybe he was just trying to stall out my Dynamax turns. That's a good possibility, but like, I don't think in a G-Max versus D-Max situation, I don't think this is a full one-hit KO. It's just the matter of fact that I have Hitmonchan still behind this that makes me not worry about it, and also Tangrowth for the Sandaconda. But, however, nonetheless, this is what he goes for in order to take down my Blastoise. And Dynamax, I definitely cannot get the one-hit kill on this. I do a ton of damage, so like I said, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe he was just playing it safe as well and figuring that if he get rid of the Blastoise, that he can win. But giving up his win condition in Darmanitan, or one of the best win conditions that he has that requires no setup, it just basically will get a lot of kills if used at the right time, it threw me off. I didn't know that this Magnezone play was coming because of those prior 2 plays. I thought that it was going to be a clean sweep. However, Hitmonchan has the priority to clean up for this, and it is choice banded, so for the Sandaconda, I switch out to my Tangrowth. It's just a safer, better differential play. I'm not going to exchange blows with a Pokemon that has the ability to boost its defense. So we're going to go to Tangrowth here. It's mixed defense with 212 defensive EVs and 216 special defense with the Assault Vest. So like, I'm really just figuring that there's nothing this thing can do to me outside of setting up like 4 to 6 turns, which my Giga Drain's going to do too much to allow that. But he also brought a rest coil set, which really wasn't expected, but due to the means that he had to use to get rid of my Blastoise, he kind of messed up that play for himself because he wasn't able to rest under the electric terrain. But that's going to be my week 1 matchup. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Coach New. I'm going to have his link in the description. And thank you guys for watching.